Hello treasures, Holly here. So today is day number 1 of the 5 days of Easter collaboration with DearJulieJulie and CaraBrandonCreations. So if you remember from the kit reveal video that I did on Wednesday, you'll know that each of the 5 days, the creators taking part will have 2 particular pages, one from each designer, to make projects with for the day. So today, obviously, is day number 1, and these are our pages to work with. Now, sorry I have to turn them sideways, but that's the only way they'll both fit in the shot. So this is the page from Cara. Beautiful collage page. And I love collage. And then from Julie, we have these beautiful vintage ephemera pieces. So what on earth can I do with these? If you've been watching my videos for a little bit, then you'll probably know that I really love vellum. I like to make, all sorts of different projects with vellum. I like to include it in my journals. And since I discovered that I can print on vellum, life changer there, I have included vellum in the actual journal pages of every journal that I've made since then. So, Miss Cara's page is perfect to be a vellum journal page. So that is what I'm doing with this page. You can see I've already printed it on the vellum, and so all I have left to do for this one is to ink around the edges and sew around it, and it will be ready to go into, obviously when I fold it, be ready to go into the journal. And what I like to do is these vellum pages will be the first page of each signature. So there I have used Cara's page. Now I will, I'll ink it and sew it off camera in a bit, and then I'll show you, how it's looking once I've done that. And a little note about the inking. I usually, like many journal creators, use the Vintage Photo Distress ink to distress my pages and my projects. But I decided this time this is going to be more of a bright, springy Easter, obviously, journal. So I decided not to use the Vintage Photo this time. And instead, I'm going to use Picked Raspberry. And this time I'm going to use the Distress Oxide because I tried both the oxide and the ink, and I liked the way the oxide looked better. And I'm also going to use Distress Oxide in Mermaid Lagoon. And again, I preferred the way that the Distress Oxide looked over the Distress ink. So I'm going to use some pretty bright colors this go round. And I don't know, as we go on, I might throw in a bit of, a pale purple of some sort, or maybe a little bit of yellow or green, because, as you've seen the kits, those colors are present. So we'll see what I decide as I go along. I'm one of those journalers who can't speak. One of those journalers who doesn't have everything planned up front. So, doing this collaboration could get a little interesting. Anyway, we'll see where it goes. So this is going to be the first page of one of my signatures. And as it stands right now, I have printed all of my journal pages, and I've, just sort of clipped them together temporarily for now to see, how I feel about it. But as of right now, it looks like we're going to have a 2-signature journal to play with. All right, so in a bit, I will ink this and sew around it, and I'll show you at the end how it looks. So let's put that aside. So then I have Miss Julie's lovely ephemera here to play with. I've already cut these out, and I actually decided to print them on a slightly heavier paper because they are going to be used mainly as ephemera in my journal. So this is 160 GSM that I've printed these on. I normally print on, oh gosh, I think this is, I can't remember if it's 100 or 120. I think it's 120. But anyway, I've printed these on 160 GSM this time to use as the ephemera. So here we are, all our little pieces. And I've not trimmed this one out completely, and I'll show you why in a bit. But there are all of our pieces I've already trimmed out. Now these pieces here, I'm just going to basically use them straightforward as tags and journaling cards. This one I might use as either a little pocket or a belly band. I'm not sure yet on this one. It has potential to, to do a little bit more than just be a journaling card or tag. But what I will do with these, I will ink them. I'm going to back them with coffee dyed paper or tea dyed. I don't remember what paper I've pulled out for it. Doesn't matter though. Dyed paper. So I'll back them, I will ink them, and I'll sew around them, and they'll be pretty much done. Now of course, the tag, I'll add a brad and probably some ribbon for the topper. But those are pretty simple, pretty much done. This little, I think, my eyesight's not great, but I think it's a little library card. I'm going to hold on to it for now. I don't have a specific idea for it, but I'm going to hold on to it for now because I think that I could put it with some of the other elements that we're not using today, and maybe make a little dangle with it of some sort. But I'm not going to really do anything with this little one right now. I hope that's okay. And our little stamp, I have some Fisker's postal scissors that I'll use, but also I can't remember who it was that I saw do this. I'm really sorry I can't remember. I would give credit if I could, but my memory's not brilliant. But I saw someone on YouTube suggest using these hair trimming scissors. So I ordered some off of Amazon, and they do give an interesting effect. So I've actually printed out the stamp 2 times, and I'm going to use each of these so you can see the different effects you get. All right. Now we have, I've covered that one up. We have these two lovely eggs. I think they're eggs. That's what they are to me anyway. And these are going to be the main focus of the project that I'm doing today. So I'll get back to that though in just a minute. Let's go ahead and cut out, and I can't remember, let's see, I always forget which way I need to turn these, because depending on which way you use the scissors, it the edging is different. So if I turn them with the label pointing that way, yes, that's what I want. I like that with the sort of squared edge, whereas those are, no, goodness, you can't really see that very well, can you? But yeah, so that's the way that I want to turn them. So I will cut this one out with the Fiskars. And we know that, you know, stamps do have a little white around them. So I'm not going to cut it right up to the green. So there is that stamp. Now I probably will use some vintage photo to distress around the edges of that, because it would look kind of strange with, you know, pink around the edge, wouldn't it? So I will do vintage photo on that one. So now, let's again see which way I want to turn these scissors. Oh, didn't cut the very edge there. These are kind of strange to use. Okay, yeah, that's the way that I want to have them turned. So what have you guys been up to? I hope you've been enjoying this gorgeous weather. Well, that is if you have gorgeous weather where you are. I hope you do. Alright, so there is what it looks like with the hair trimming scissors. And I cannot remember, I think maybe they're hair layering scissors. I'm not quite sure. If any of you know the proper name, put it down below in the comments, so anyone who, you know, wants to find them will have a better shot at it. Now, that one, I think that looks okay around the edges of that. I have had them such as right here, that, you know, the little tails are a little bit long. So what I do, and you know, if it turns out like that, and I'm not smart enough to know why it turns out like that. I'm sure there's a sensible explanation, but I'm not going to worry about it. Find the camera, Holly. So, see, now it's shorter. All I do is trim a little bit off of it so that it, you know, suits me. So there we are. Our two stamps. I think the one using the hairstyling scissors, I like it better, personally. And you've got a much better chance of finding a pair of those on Amazon than you do trying to find some postal scissors. At least that was true for me. I just happened at some point in the past to get a whole set of the Fiskar shaped scissors off of a big lot in eBay some years ago. So, and I pulled these out to keep. The other ones I don't really use. I don't use shape scissors except for the postal ones. So there we go. I will just, as I said, I'll ink those bits, and I'm going to put all these little bits aside to use as we go on in the journal, and making our other little bits to go with it. So I'll save those. I'll ink them and I'll save them. All right. I will get together our egg creation bits and I'll come right back to you. It'll be a few minutes for me, but just a split second for you. Okay, treasures. So here is the idea that I want to use with these two. All right, the first thing I did was I went into my my photo editing program, and I switched around the print. So I reversed it so that, see, the butterfly is on the right side of this one. I flipped the image so that I have a butterfly on the left side. And the same thing with this one here. I just flipped the entire image. So, the writing on these ones, would then be backwards. But I'm not worried about those. It's these that I want. And the reason that I want a flipped image is because I want to put these together back to back. Okay, they don't fit perfectly because my cutting out doesn't align perfectly, but in order to sort of mask that, I'm going to use the Distress Oxide on the back so that it's not glaringly obvious with the white. And I'm also going to mount them on pardon me, I'm going to also mount them on this card. So I have the blue for this one and the bright pink for this one. Now the reason that I'm doing this is I want to cut out this center bit here, and I want to insert a vellum picture. So you can't really see very well, as this is right now, but it'll end up being sort of a, I guess sort of a photo negative, a slide sort of look to it. So first thing I need to do, and hopefully it'll make more sense as I carry on. Let's work with, we'll work with this one since it's here. So the first thing I need to do, I'm going to put together my eggs, and I didn't cut these free-handed, guys. Well, I did, but I traced around a template so that I can get, all the eggs the same size and orientation, whatnot, or at least close. So yeah, just find a template online, print it out, trace it. Bob's your uncle or somebody. All right, let me get these. Now, I'm really, really, really hoping that this works because I did not do a test run of these. I normally do, but I felt like I didn't have a great deal of time, so I'm going at it without a test run. So I've clipped that in place, cut that because I have it lined up, so I know this is where I want it on the egg. Oh, come apart. Oh, I've got it clipped to both pieces of card. That won't work. I'm trying to clip it in place so that I can then glue the print to the card. All right. Hopefully these do not move on me. So I'm not going to take the print off the card completely. I'm just going to lift it. Lift and stick. And, you know, I'm going to be cutting out this part, but right now I'm just going to put glue there anyway, because I just want to adhere this really well to this card under it. So I will let that much of it stick down, and once, you know, I feel like that's stuck down, then I'll take the clip off and glue the top part of it. So while I'm thinking of it, I shall wish a happy Mother's Day for Sunday to the UK mums. And remember, just because, you know, being a mum doesn't mean that you actually gave birth to the child. Being a mum means that you have nurtured and loved and given guidance to that child. So, you know, there is no prerequisite to have given birth to the child to be the mother, is there? Not in my opinion, anyway. I have had more than one mother in my view. I have my birth mother, I have my granny, and I had my mother-in-law. She was very much a mum to me. So no stereotypical bad relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law here. She was actually a great support for me, and unfortunately we lost her this past November. So, oh, I didn't need to put glue on that overhanging wing there, did I? But yeah, so this will be my first Mother's Day without Mum, I called her. Being American, my mother is Mom, and my mother-in-law was Mum. But it's not Mother's Day in America this weekend, so I have to wait a couple of months for Mom. And I don't have my other mom, my granny, anymore. We lost her last, oh gosh, what was it? July, August? I can't believe I've lost track of it. All right, so those are stuck down, and I am pretty happy with the way they line up. Now comes the scary part. I'm going to use a craft knife and very carefully cut out the inside part of these two eggs here. And hopefully I'll be able to do it closely enough that they'll line up. Yeah. Okay, deep breath. Here we go. And I'll probably, well, I'm sure I'll definitely speed this up or just start this and then come back to you after I have cut them out. Because you don't want to sit here for all the time it's going to take me, believe me. So I've got this bad hand, and I'm trying really, really hard to be really, really careful. Yep. And I'm going to have to take more than one pass at this because it's not coming through the card. To tell you what, yeah, I think that that's going to be a better idea, isn't it? Just take out the big bulk like this, and then I can go in with the craft knife and take out the little details. What a good idea. Glad I thought of that. Hopefully this will help make it easier. And, you know, not just making more work for myself. Lord knows I'm good at doing that. All right, I am going to cut out the details and cut this one out as well, and then I'll come back to you when I have them cut out, and we'll talk about the next part. So just a quick one here. I've got this one cut out. I'm pretty satisfied with that at the moment. The white bits, obviously I'm going to ink that so they won't look so garish. But what I decided to do, this is going to be my front, and what I decided to do is, instead of cutting this out and hoping that it matches with this, I'm actually going to trace my cutout. Sorry guys, this other light here messes things up. Anyway, what I was saying, I'm putting this one against the other one, just like it's going to be, get it lined up, and I'm going to trace the opening that I've cut out onto the back of the other one, and then I will cut that out, and that way I know that it will match up better. May not be perfect, but it will be better than if I just tried to cut this out and hope that it matched up. So I will do that, and then I'll come back once I've got them both cut out for our next step. Okay, so here we have both pieces cut, and it's not absolutely perfect, but hey, it is perfect enough for me. I'm happy with it. So next thing, I am just going to go ahead and put this ink on so the white is not so glaring. And again, this is Distress Oxide Mermaid Lagoon, just in case you're curious. Obviously, you don't have to use the same color as me at all. And I'm not worried about blending this too much. It's just about mainly covering up those, those white bits that might show. I think that I really ought to get my finger daubers for that inside bit. I'll get those in just a minute. Let's do this outside bit here first. a little bit annoyed with myself because you can see these little bits that aren't taking the ink. That's where glue has gotten on the paper. I didn't think about that, about being really careful when I was gluing it. But hey ho, what are you gonna do? Try to remember and be more careful for next time. Okay, I am going to go get those, the finger daubers, and I will be right back with you. Paul, you can cut this bit out. There they are. And we start filming again. All right, so here we are. Let's see. Mermaid Lagoon. There you are. And picked raspberry I will need as well. So I'll go ahead and get that out. So here we are. We've got both sides cut out and inked. And I was just thinking, if you didn't have colored card that you liked, you could just use white card and ink it, because you can see how much, you know, the ink has colored it there. So you can always just color white card to meet your own needs. So, which way was I doing this? Did it matter? I'm going to move this out of the way to avoid getting excess ink on our other bits. Let's see. This is, oh, I've got it all over my hands. Anyway, this is our little vellum picture, our little Victorian era young lady to go with our Victorian ephemera. So I'm just going to see which way I prefer her to be framed. Alright, I think I'll just go with that. So this is going to be my front side. And I'm actually just going to write it on here so I know which way to go. Alright, next step, we need some acetate. So now it only needs to be big enough to cover the cutout. So I think I will do about I'm not even going to measure it properly. This should certainly cover it. Yeah, and I know you can't really see that, but it's definitely covered, and we even have some overhang that I will have to trim off. But I'd rather have too much right now than not enough. And if you don't have sheets of acetate, like I have, then you should harvest acetate off of food containers, not containers, packaging, like something like your boxes of spaghetti with the acetate window. You know, carefully take that window off, and then you can use it in your projects. So I'm just going to put a thin line around this opening, and I'm not going to get it too close to the edge of that opening, because I don't want it to squish out onto the acetate that's going to be visible. A little squish that down. Try not to slide it, because if you slide it, then you might get glue on the acetate that's visible through your aperture. There you go. I'll give you a 10-cent word there, aperture, instead of opening. Okay. All right, got that one covered. And then I will trim off. There's some little bits that are overhanging. Well, you can't really see those, can you? But there are little bits of acetate that are overhanging, but I will cut those off in just a minute once I'm sure that's dried and it's not going to slide. While that is drying, I'm going to add a bit of color to our little girl here. Now these I printed on my laser printer, so I could use my alcohol markers to color the front side. If you are using an inkjet printer to print these, you're better off coloring the image from the back side. That way it doesn't interfere with the ink that's on the front side. If you try to color the front side of your inkjet print, then the ink from the inkjet is going to smear and you're going to have an ugly mess. But if you color it from the back, then the color will show through and it's not going to mess with your printed image. But since I'm used to coloring from the back, I think that is what I will just carry on doing. I've just got a pale pink alcohol marker here, and I'm just going to, I'm not going to color that because it's not even going to be in the image, is it? Just going to add a little color to our picture. I don't want to color everything. In fact, I was tempted to color her dress, but I don't think I want to do that. I just want to add some little pops of color to it. Try this one too. Certainly want some blue in there since that is the main color of our little frame we've made. And this does not have to be terribly accurate at all. Well, come on, you. I think I'll put a little hint of flowers or ribbon or something in her hair. Oh, I think that's just gorgeous. I love that. Here, let me hold it up here. Hopefully you can you see those little very pale pops of color on the flower basket and a little bit in her hair. I didn't color these flowers down here because they're unfortunately not going to be in our finished project. They don't fit the aperture. Alright, so that should be dry enough for me to trim. Let's use the little ones there. Sorry guys, I just realized I was completely out of frame with that. It's honestly been so long since I filmed a video before starting this collaboration that I forget what to do. And I tell you, the kit reveal video was an absolute nightmare to film. I just kept having all sorts of technical difficulties. Hopefully the rest of the videos will go more smoothly. Alright, let's line up our young lady here. I like that there. Okay, I will clip her there and put a bit of glue around here to hold her in place. And then I'll trim the excess off. Actually, I can swap that over there now. Sorry guys, am I getting out of frame again? I'm just so used to just, you know, only crafting for myself. Need to get a different mindset on, don't I? I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I shall trim off the excess and then we'll put the back on. These little scissors are so incredibly helpful, and you'd never believe they just came from like a 1 pound little cheapy little sewing kit. You know, one of those with a few little strands of threads and a couple of questionable needles. But those little scissors are fantastic. I prefer those over my my little Tim Holtz scissors, the little ones. I'd rather have these cheapy ones. Wish I'd known that before I spent the money on the Tim Holtz ones. Okay. Let's glue this baby together now. I'm just going to be careful not to get it too close to that aperture because I don't want the glue squidging over onto our picture. After all this work, I would not be a happy bunny. Definitely not a happy bunny. So once that dries, it will be pretty much ready. Now, that's what the back looks like. Now, obviously, you know, the back isn't really meant for viewing so much, and you know, I could have just left that solid, but the reason for cutting that out is so that the light actually can come through, so you know, it is more like a slide. Goodness gracious, Holly, find those words. Now let's see here. I want to add something to it. What can we add? Got a bow here that I made for another. That's way too much, isn't it? Let's see. I was playing around with some pink ribbon earlier. What did I do with that? Ah, there's the pink one I was playing around with earlier. How would that look if it was the right color? What do we think? That's not too bad, is it? Just change up the color. Yeah. Let's make a blue version of that. Now, I wish I had a different shade of blue in this small thin ribbon, but I don't. Oh, stop raveling or unraveling. I'm just going to have to deal with this one, and I'm making a right blooming mess out of this. May as well just take that off. Let's see. Let's go with that. Fold it in half. I only recently learned how to do these ribbons, or bows rather, and I do like them. Instead of, you know, dragging out the bow maker thingy and then trying to remember which way things are supposed to go. So all I did was I took that length of ribbon and I, you know, folded it in half, and then I just tied a knot in the middle of it. And now what I'm going to do is, just like I'm, you know, tying a bow, like you're tying your shoelaces. Okay, there's my little loop, and then I'm going to go around it and through. Careful not to pull it all the way through. I'm just going to arrange the size that I want. All right. I think I will like that. I really should have turned the sound off my phone. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise on the video. If it's too distracting, my apologies. Not making an Academy Award winning film here though, are we? Alright, so there is my bow, and where this, that's where we folded the original ribbon in half. All I'm going to do is cut that now and snip my ends. those little bits. This one is being so fiddly. Not usually so fiddly. It's because I'm filming it and trying to explain to you what I'm doing, isn't it? Oop. Look, ribbon, you don't have to make me look like a fool. I do that well enough myself. Just come on. Yes, the crazy lady who talks to ribbon. Okay, I like that well enough. So I think I shall glue that on there. Oh, I was also going to put some glue on their little wings and stick the two sides together. Alright, clip that on for now so it has time to dry. But I will come back when it's all dry and show you, and I will also do our pink version. And I'll come back and show you what they both look like finished. Okay, lovelies. In the second that you've been away, and the couple of hours that I've been away doing the school run and this and that and all the other, I have almost finished all of our projects for the day. I'll show you this one first. So this is the first page of one of our signatures. It's the collage page for today that Cara put together for us for day one, and it's printed on vellum, and as you can probably just about see, I have stitched around it with one of my, I think it's one of my favorite pretty little stitches in it's a sort of a mauve or kind of an antique-y kind of pink color thread. And I have also inked around the edges with pink. That's the pink, let's see, the picked raspberry distress oxide that I'm going to use throughout the journal. So really the only thing left to do with this piece will be to fold it and then combine it with the other pages to make up one of the signatures. So there's that one completed. I have this one here that I have backed it with some tea-dyed paper. I have, again, went around with the Distress Oxide, inked the edges, and I've also sewn around it. So that's ready to go into a pocket as a journaling card. And the very same thing for this lovely journaling card. She's backed and she's inked and she's sewn and ready to go into a pocket. And this one here, I went ahead and backed it. I said, you know, that I might use this as a, goodness gracious, a pocket or a belly band. But I did go ahead and back it with some tea-dyed paper before I inked and sewed around it, just in case, you know, I want to use it as a journaling card or, you know, tag. I could even turn it into a tag, couldn't I? But I wanted to have those options available to me when I, get further down the road, putting the journal together and putting all the ephemera and whatnot where I want it. So doing that gave me extra options, and it also, makes it sturdier. So here is our tag, and as you can see, I haven't actually finished it. I have backed it, I have inked it, I've sewn around it, and I've put an eyelet there in the hole, but I've not put a topper on, and I've not done any other decoration because I thought, I've done all of this stuff off camera. I thought I would at least do a bit of decoration of this one on camera with you. But I'll put it to the side for a moment, and I will show you, have the big reveal of our little Easter eggs. So there we go. Ooh. There are our little ladies in their Easter eggs. So we have the bows to match on each one of them. I decided to put the bow down here on this one because I didn't want to hide these flowers. I was a little ambivalent about putting this bow up here, but you can still see the butterfly. So let me just show you with one of them. So what I've done, I've put, this one might be, no, that one won't be easier to see. I've put a bulb pin, trying to get it so you can see. Just take my word for it. There's a bulb pin there. I used my teeny tiny hole punch to make a little hole there to put the bulb pin through, and I've got different little pink and just shiny seed beads on there, as well as a little butterfly charm and a pink pearly button. So, and I've done the same sort of thing in blues with this one here. And what adding that bulb pin to it does for us is not only is it, extra decoration, but it also gives us more options. This can tuck into a pocket or, into a little tuck spot, or it can also, with this bulb pin, you can hang it either on the edge of a page, on the cover, just, wherever you want. So adding that bulb pin and those decorations opens up, some extra options for us of what we can do with these. But I think they turned out really cute. And can you see her little, what are those? Are the hyacinth that she has there? But I think she looks so adorable. I really love how these turned out. And, when I saw these, the day one sheets, I was like, oh my goodness, what can I do with them? I don't know. And I thought, you know what? I could cut out that middle bit there and make basically a picture frame with these. So I'm really pleased with it. And here are our stamps trimmed with 2 different types of scissors. And as you can maybe tell, I did actually go ahead and go around these with distress ink in Vintage Photo. So those will be ready to add into our journal wherever they fit in as I carry on. And the little teeny tiny library card, I have just left it as it is for the moment. I just want to wait and see where I end up putting it in. So this will go into my little basket of things to use with the journal. I'll get my words out eventually. All right, so we've got this tag to finish though, so let me put all of those to the side. And thought I want to use some of this, I guess it's sari silk. It is vintage silk, so I suppose it possibly came from a sari, but it would probably be called sari silk even if it didn't. But I thought that would be really pretty to use as the topper in this little tag. So I think I'll have about that much. Now, obviously, this is, you know, too wide to go through that little hole. So what I do is find, well, I was going to get my pokey tool, but this works even better. That way I don't stab myself. So what that is, that's just a sort of an engraving tool, or a dot tool. Yeah, that's probably what we know it better as, a dot tool. So I'll take this, or, you know, pokey tool, whatever. Pokey tool, also known as an awl, A-W-L, not A-L-L. I'll use, you know, whatever I put my hand to just poke that ribbon right through. And there we are. Let's see, you know, I think I would actually like that just a tiny bit shorter. Oh, look at that. I didn't unfold the ribbon as I cut it, so now it has this funny, oh well. I don't mind. I'll do the same sort of thing over here. So we have a funny little pattern to it, but I don't mind. And I've just thought I will probably, off camera, make a little bulb pin dangle to go on this. I do like to put little bulb pin dangles in the, like the sari silk on top of the tag. That would be a pretty little decoration. But I'm not going to do it right now on screen because I don't have the things right here in front of me. I'd have to go digging for them and find them again. But let's go ahead, and I want to put some lace on this tag. I absolutely love, love, love lace. So it must have some lace. So I'm just auditioning different bits to see what I like. Oh, I do really love that bit of lace. That's really pretty. Let's see. Oh, that's cute too. I think I know what I'm going to do. I like to actually layer laces, or layer lace and ribbon. Yeah, I think that would be nice layered, wouldn't it? Alright, so there's my glue. Does everybody else lose their glue and their scissors and, well, everything and anything when it's sitting just right in front of you? Please tell me it's not just me. Okay, let that, come on, stick. Not to me. I don't need the lace stuck to me. Stay there. Alright, and I'll put this just a wee bit above it there. Yeah, I think, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, got lace everywhere. Cut that off. it's really weird for me, guys, because I normally have another light on when I'm crafting, but I have found that that light is just, it just wreaks havoc with things when I'm trying to film. So I've got that light off, and my eyesight, oh dear. I won't say that I'm getting old, but, you know, my children would. But my eyesight certainly is not the greatest these days. Oh, glue strings. Spider-Man ain't got nothing on me. Oh. There we go. I like it. Let's hold it up closer so you can see a bit better. I think the other light's starting to wash everything out now. It's probably because it's late in the day. All right, let me try turning that one off. Yeah, I think that works a little bit better, doesn't it? That light was washing things out. Okay, so I tell you what, I will pause you for just a minute and put together a bulb pin for this one, and then I'll come back and show you our final projects. Okay, treasures, so here we are. This is our final product. So we have 2 journal cards, maybe a third, maybe a belly band, maybe a pocket, who knows. A tag, and I'll come back to the tag in just a second. 2, dear me, Easter egg picture frame decoration dangle Watsits. We have our 2 stamps and teeny tiny library card ready to go onto something. And we have the first page of one of our signatures to hold the rest of the signature together. And here is our tag. I said I would do a bulb pin dangle to go on there, and so there it is. So I hope that you have enjoyed this with me. It's certainly a new challenge to me, and it is a challenge, as I said, but I'm enjoying it. It's a nice challenge. So I look forward to doing the rest of the 5 days, and I hope, oh, let's get down here in frame. I hope my filming gets better. I hope that you will join me and see what I do with days 2 through 5 and the final reveal. So I will see you again on Wednesday the 30th, and that will be for day 2 of the collaboration. So I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy Mother's Day if you are in the UK or anywhere else where it's celebrated this weekend. And remember, you don't have to have given birth to a child to be a mother to them. Just give that love and guidance, that unconditional love. There are so many children out there that need it, and it's free to give, so give it away. I hope you find something to smile about today. Take care of yourselves. Love you guys. Bye.